The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets were on the field today for the first day of OTAs. The first practice open for the media is tomorrow, and Antwan Staley from the New York Daily News will join me to preview the biggest storylines to follow. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. As always, we are presented by PrizePicks. Click the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And a quick plug for the Patreon. Make sure you join it if you're coming to any future Asmaniac event, including the first ever Gangrene Beach Club, where our next guest will be hanging out with us in person. He covers the New York Jets for the Daily News. It's our good friend, Antwan Staley, who joins us now. Antwan, OTAs are tomorrow. I want to get into that with you, but before we do any of that, thank you for agreeing to participate in Gangrene Beach Club and for being part of the first ever Asmaniac Speedo competition. Looking forward to seeing you out there on July 11th.
Not in that you won't be. we don't want to discuss the viewers, so you definitely won't see me in the Speedo for sure.
It is going to be wild, baby. I can't wait. The amount of Jet fans that have already bought tickets is incredible. We're nearing 100 already, which is nuts. So I'm looking forward to it, man, and can't wait to hang out with you in AC.
Yeah, it should be a fun time, too, right before the training camp gets started. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions that the fans have while we're down there in AC.
GangreneBeachClub.com if you want to hang out with Antwan, take pictures with him, sign autographs, the whole thing. Gangrene Beach
I don't know
Club.
if people want to do that necessarily, but I'm willing to hang out, and definitely look forward to mingling with everybody.
It's going to be fun. So from a Jet standpoint, you'll be at the facility tomorrow for the first open practice for the media of OTAs. The Jets posted this video earlier of Geno Smith running back out there with a helmet on for the first time in his second stint with the New York Jets. When it comes to storylines that you believe you'll be writing about leading through minicamp here, what are some of the things that you're the most intrigued by with this team starting tomorrow you get a chance to see?
Well, obviously, it kind of starts with Geno, obviously his return there, and just how he looks in Frank Wright's system, too, as well. Just obviously, Geno is coming off a pretty rough year with the Raiders there. Really, the last 2 years, I feel like his interceptions have been way up, too. Led the league the last couple of years in that department there. So I'm looking forward to just seeing, how he, manages the offense there. His relationship with Garrett Wilson there. They're building their chemistry. Obviously, Garrett's coming back from, a knee injury that sidelined him for 10 games. So looking forward to seeing him out there. But yeah, I'm curious to see just Frank Wright's system in general, because in the past, like he'd done a lot of one tight end sets there, not necessarily, 12 personnel or 13 personnel, which I think they're going to do more of, in this offense there, especially when you take a guy like Kenyon Sadiq there as high as what he was. And then also you still have a guy like Jeremy Ruckert, obviously Mason Taylor too as well. So I'm just kind of to see how Geno kind of fits in the fold and everything.
In terms of what this offense is, what do you anticipate it looking like? Like, what's the balance of run and pass? They have the two tight ends now, so it feels like that screams, hey, way more 12 personnel. But just give me your thoughts on what a Frank Reich offense with Geno Smith as his quarterback potentially looks like.
Well, Frank Wright was going to want to run the football. So I think anytime any kind of offense kind of starts there, and that's why you want to keep a guy like Brees Hall happy and you make a long term deal with him. So I think he's going to get the ball a lot. Obviously, that's been a level of frustration for him throughout the course of his career with the Jets. There, I don't think it'll necessarily be an issue with that. I don't think it necessarily was last year either, Todd. I just think the team around him was really struggling there. But I think they're going to run the football there in addition to do a little play action there, get, throw the ball down the field deep too as well. Like I think the last year, when you had Justin Fields who was reluctant to do that, now you got a guy in Geno Smith like, you're going to have to live and die with the interceptions sometimes, just because that's just how Geno is. He's a bit of a gambler. But, I think fans will understand that because he's going to take chances and get the ball down the field with Garrett Wilson or A.D. Mitchell or now Omar Cooper Jr. and Kenyon Sadiq there. So, I think you're going to see a lot of downfield passing, but you're also going to see them being physical in the running game, something that Aaron Glenn, really wants his stress since his tenure being here.
If you have a question for Antwan, Super Chats will cut the line, so make sure you write it in, and I'll make sure we get it on the show. You look at the offense, and you brought up some of the rookies. That, to me, is one of the bigger storylines here. Just how quickly does a Sadiq and Cooper get acclimated into the offense? What's their role in the offense? Because outside of really Garrett Wilson and Brees, I feel like there's a lot of undecided, clear roles for the rest of the offensive skill players.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they need all the help they can get. I mean, we're talking about an offense that finished 29th in scoring and also yards per game last year, and obviously really struggled throughout the course of no matter who the quarterback is. Last year, it seemed like they really struggled, especially when Garrett went out the lineup as well. So you need guys like Kenyon Sadiq to be able to step up too, who actually did a good solid job in rookie minicamp. But now this will be his first interaction along with Omar Cooper Jr. with the veterans too, and see how they can perform there because they desperately need those guys to produce immediately because otherwise, it's going to be so much attention paid to Garrett. And it always is because he's one of the best receivers, I think, in the game. But, I think you need to take some pressure off him, obviously get some passes to Brees too as well. But you got to have those guys be able to step up and not necessarily expecting 100 catches from those guys in year one, but, just be a reliable threat that can, put pressure on defenses.
How many touchdowns for Geno Smith in 2026?
If I had to bet, I'd probably say somewhere around 26, 27 touchdowns, maybe 11, 12 interceptions.
Wow, that's actually a lot more than I thought you were going to say. So do you think Geno Smith then plays 15 games, 16 games? I mean, obviously injuries are unpredictable, but the thought process from some is maybe the touchdown number is a little lower because if the Jets are out of it at the end of the year, maybe that's when you see Cade Klubnik play.
I think he's going to play. If he's healthy, he's going to play. I just think they want to. I think he gives you the best opportunity to win. I don't necessarily know. We'll have to see in training camp, especially with Klubnik when the pads come on, but how far along he is too. I mean, obviously there's going to be a clamor to see him in the play and start at some point, just because I don't know how the Jets will be towards the end of the season. But I still think Geno is going to give them the best opportunity to win. And so long as he does that, then I think he'll continue to be the starting quarterback.
Do you think Klubnik ends up being the backup?
I do. If I had to guess right now, too, as well, because, I mean, they haven't addressed that situation as far as getting the veteran backup. You do have Bailey Zappi, also, Cook, too, as well, in addition to Klubnik. So, I think as of right now, I think you pencil him as the backup. But you could always go out and get somebody, later on in training camp. There's going to be veterans to kind of shake loose there in August or towards training camp. So I don't think it's necessarily a big urgency to add that guy right now.
I just think there's no rush to sign any veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
You could use OTAs and minicamp as a clear, evaluation window for Klubnik because he might be able to beat out Bailey Zappi, and I think he's already better than Brady Cook, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. So I think you want him to win the job. I think if he plays well enough, then I mean, because put it like this, if Geno doesn't play, then I think if he gets hurt or something like that, the season's kind of washed at that point. So you might as well see what you got in Klubnik later on down the line, should it come to that, because obviously you're going to be making a quarterback decision on some level next offseason, whether it be, some kind of, veteran comes open, or more likely they're going to be drafting somebody in the 2028-27 draft.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Let me share the giveaway that we have on our show today. You see the jersey behind me there, Antwan, the David Bailey jersey?
David Bailey, yeah.
We're raffling away a Bailey jersey on the show, or Jet fans, pick your first round pick. Omar Cooper Jr., Or Kenyon Sadiq, you pick the Jets first round pick. You want a jersey in, we send it to you, but you got to be in it to win it. So gift a membership or send in a super chat or Venmo that qualifies. The Human Fund is the first to do it this afternoon. He gifted one membership. He is in, as is Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, gifting a membership. So 2 entries thus far in the Asmaniac raffle. Let's go.
Just don't let go of the rope.
What crazy quote do you hear from Aaron Glenn tomorrow that makes national headlines, Antwan?
I don't know if he'll make one, but I think it'll be something like, believing in us and all that unity or something like that too. Because I think a lot of people are going to perceive Aaron Glenn to be on the hot seat coming into this year. I know you for one in particular have been, people have kind of criticized you for your level of criticism towards Aaron Glenn, fairly or unfairly. But the fact of the matter is, last year just wasn't good on any level, especially the way you kind of went out last year. So yeah, I think he's gonna talk about the world being against them and the media, things like that too. Although I think Aaron Glenn is in a different place than he was last year, it seems like a little bit more calm and confident as opposed to last year, where it seemed like a lot of things were kind of coming at him at the same time, especially in your first year.
You have noticed a more relaxed persona when he has spoken publicly this offseason. I would expect that to remain the case through OTAs and minicamp here. I think the true test is going to be, what happens when the games are actually starting.
Or training camp, where, you're talking to the media every single day, or at least 4 or 5 days a week. And then you're getting asked certain questions that you may not want to get answered. So, yeah, I think that'll be the clear determiner in training camp, where we have to talk to Glenn every single day.
Look, you look at Aaron Glenn and his first year, he wins 3 games. You start the year now against the ex-coach of the Jets, Robert Saleh, in week 1. I got some heat for saying I think it's a must-win. Obviously, it's not a literal must-win with 16 games after that. But my thought process is, if you lose the Saleh, you're 0-1, and then you got to play the NFC North right after. He can't afford an 0-4 start when they were 0-7 last year. So I just think getting off to a good start this year, it's so important. It's not just about how many wins they finish with. I mean, the timing of the wins factors into whether or not he gets a third year as well.
Yeah, I see your point too, especially considering that's a tough schedule after that too. Because if you got to just stay above water and maybe find a way to get to 2-2 potentially. If you can do that, and then the schedule eases up a little bit too. I mean, obviously you got games against New England kind of sandwiched in there with the Browns and Raiders, but there's some opportunities for some wins there, potentially Dolphins there too as well. So yeah, if you can get to 2-2, beat Cleveland 3-2, maybe start the season 3-3 before you can get 2 back-to-back wins against the Dolphins and Raiders. I think heading in November, that would give you a little bit more of a optimism as a Jets fan, as opposed to last year when by the time you hit October it was over because they were 0-7 or 1-7 at that point.
That's my fear, that if they lose week 1, it's like, if you can't beat the Titans, who have a new coaching staff in place and we're a 3-win team as well, I'm supposed to think you're going to beat the Packers, the Lions, the Bears, and then by the time you get to the Browns, like, what's your record at that point? Even if you beat the Browns, then it's New England. It's like you'd be 1-5, 1-6. But if you beat the Titans, well, then I could picture you beating Cleveland. I think you could beat Miami. I think you could beat the Raiders. Like, you actually could have a season that's not over before Columbus Day for once. It'd be a nice change.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like last year was just rough for everybody. I mean, starting out 0-7, heading into Halloween, like, it's over, like, at that point now. But again, like, I get your point too, like, and I kind of feel in a similar way, like they need to win that game. I won't say it's a must win, but it is paramount that they do win that game. Because again, if you lose that, kind of to your point, you kind of stare at 0-4 right in the face.
It's just tough. And if you win that game, it's like, well, you know what? Maybe I could find a win over your next 3. You could steal one early, like when the Jets.
Or they could beat the Packers. Maybe they could beat the Packers at home, potentially. Like, I'm not saying they will or won't, but the Jets have done crazy things before, especially at MetLife. So yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
Maybe no Josh Jacobs, given the legal situation involving him now. Maybe Micah Parsons is still out with his injury.
Yeah.
So, but like, to me, it all comes back to, can you go into week 1 and come away with a win? Because just from like a fan standpoint, like, you want to start to believe things are different. We're headed in the right direction. You get that win early, like, all of a sudden, I think it kind of alleviates some of the pressure that is on the Jets, because the only thing people are going to be talking about is Robert Saleh, the 0-7 start. Look, if they lose week 1 and win week 2, hand up, I was wrong. I just have a tough time picturing that, given the history of the Jets.
And also, you want some momentum heading home too as well. Like, you're playing away, like, obviously, like you need to beat solid too as well. Like if you get that win and start 1-0, then you go into your home opener with a lot of momentum, especially considering, as you probably know, it's going to be a lot of Packer fans there at MetLife Stadium too as well. So you want to make sure that you have pack as many Jet fans as possible, because otherwise, like you start 0-1, it could be a lot like Pittsburgh, the home opener last year, where you have mostly Steeler fans there.
Kel Joseph with an Asmaniac super chat. Hit the like button. Best Jets content. Jake, Knicks, Yankees, Chip. Kel, appreciate you tuning in. And thanks so much for your daily support. Everyone click the thumbs up button. That helps the channel continue to grow. And again, raffle at the end of our show today for a David Bailey, Omar Cooper Jr., or Kenyon Sadiq jersey. That is what's on the table. In terms of other OTA storylines, Antwan, put on the reporter hat for us now. Besides Glenn and Gino, what are some of the other things that you're going to be looking at in OTA starting tomorrow?
Well, we talked about the rookies a little bit too, as well. In addition to that, I just kind of want to see how their defenses look as a whole, because I feel like that was one of the most disappointing, outlooks of the Jets last year. I mean, you can say whatever you want to about the Solid era, and deservingly so. I mean, but the fact of the matter is, like, they had good defenses when he was here, and just the fact that they just kind of went in the trash can there, and just was one of the worst units in football last year. It was kind of just, staggering, like, well, it was stunning, how badly, how much they fell. So I kind of want to see how they play, especially with Glenn calling plays now. Jamin Sherwood, I think it's a big year for him. Obviously, they're going to keep him for another year, but this is it for it. This is kind of make or break year for him, because otherwise, like, he's going to be on the chopping block at the end of the season if he has another poor year like he did last year. So I just kind of want to see, how everybody kind of meshes in the new defense, and how the new skill position players that just kind of, accumulate with the veterans that are already here.
It's a great point. Like, what does an Aaron Glenn led defense look like? Because the personnel would tell you they're going to go more 3-4 than we've seen. But Glenn has also pushed back on that, saying that there's going to be some 4-3. They're going to be multiple. I'm curious to see what some of the alignments potentially are for this defense this year.
Yeah, he even said at the owners meeting, like, it potentially could be like 5-man looks on the defensive line too, maybe depending on the situation there, goal line, rushing or what the ball, or the case may be. So yeah, now that Glenn is, getting back to his bread and butter, calling plays too, I just kind of want to see how the rhythm of the defense it kind of evolves overall, especially getting a guy like Demario Davis, who knows Aaron Glenn well personally, and obviously was his coach in New Orleans, kind of how he, becomes the quarterback of the defense.
Yeah, I love that Demario's here. I think that's going to help. And you brought up Sherwood. I think the hope's got to be that Sherwood not having to really be the captain of the defense, let Demario handle all that, could just get back to being the player he was 2 years ago. I mean, you're paying him $15 million. You think he's obviously going to be a part of the solution.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, I think that's the goal. Like, you want him to be that same player like he was at 24. It wasn't a lot of bright spots in 24, but, I thought he was one of them, especially being how young he was. And that's why the Jets decided to pay him. And, now they can get under that contract after the 26th season. So, yeah, it's definitely a big year for him.
Super Chats cut the line. The Poon Man, Major Poonage in the house. He is in the Asmaniac raffle with this one for 4 entries.
Yes! Yes! Let's go Knicks! This our year, baby! Win the chip!
Yeah, Antwan loves it. How does Antwan feel about Klubnik's hair? How does it match up with the likes of Burrow or Lawrence?
Not there yet, but he does have some good hair. He does have good hair. So yeah, it looked like he could be in a Head and Shoulders, something like that kind of commercial, Pantene, whatever the case may be.
Are you buying the aura surrounding Cade Klubnik and his hair?
I'm not going to be kind of huge here, but yeah, definitely not necessarily yet. But I think it's going to be interesting to see just how fast he can come along too, because I think there's a lot of negativity towards the pick there, obviously. I think mostly because the Jets traded picks to acquire him in the 4th round, too, as well. But, let's talk about a guy that has a ton of talent there. And, I think he can put it together. Had a great 24 there at Clemson last year, which is kind of a down year for everybody with the Tigers, and not including him. So I think at the very least, like, he can be a productive backup in the league, and because he has the talent. I mean, the man was a 5-star athlete coming out of high school and one of the toughest, regions in high school football, and then be able to win the ACC championships and have the success that he did doesn't just, disappear overnight. So he definitely has a ton of talent.
I think when you look at, like, why the fan base reacted the way they did, it's because, one, they made the trade, but 2, like, he was like an afterthought. Like no one even like was talking about Cade Klubnik as an option for the Jets. And in hindsight, we probably should have, because what's the difference between Cade Klubnik and Drew Aller, for example, or Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier? Like if we reverse the year Klubnik had 2 years ago with the year he just had, he's not going in the 4th round. So I think that's one thing that we as fans didn't pay close enough attention to in the pre-draft process.
Absolutely. Yeah, his 24th season, you could make the argument was better than both of those guys that you mentioned, Nussmeier and Aller. I know, obviously, Aller made the playoffs with Penn State, but, I feel like his numbers were kind of a little bit more up and down as far as the interception rates and just the turnovers, where I feel like Klubnik was a little bit more accurate. But, last year, just kind of everything just kind of, it was just a perfect storm there for Clemson. But, if he can get back to being the accurate quarterback there, don't necessarily let the pressure affect him like he did it like last year. Yeah, I think you got a potential to got to get development a player that you can look and see, maybe you can groom him, to be a starter down the line.
Super chat from Jay Petito. How about 4 raffle entries for Jay? Let's go.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Jay in our raffle. By the way, weekly raffle prizes for those tuning in for the first time this week. We have a new set of awesome prizes. Raffle number 75. Since we started the weekly raffle series in December of 2024. Our top prize this week is a signed Clyde jersey, Wall Clyde Frazier signed jersey, signed Darrelle Revis end zone pylon, and a signed Joe Klecko helmet. Our top 3 prizes in our weekly Saturday raffle. Veterans Jet fan writes in, will there be any media availability with Dunbar, Reich, or Musgrave? Someone needs to interview Dunbar about what he saw in Bailey, the acquisitions of Anibari and Osai, Darrell Jackson Jr., etc.
I think at some point they do. I don't know when that'll be, but Wright will be at some point for sure. Probably before the assistant coaches. But yeah, we'll have availability with them at some point. I just don't know exactly when. Probably towards mandatory minicamp. Mandatory minicamp.
Some other Jet storylines I want to get your thoughts on. We actually had a trade today. See you later, Herb Charles. The Jets trading the once upon a time special teams ace to the Seattle Seahawks for a conditional 7th rounder in 2028. And then Herb Charles took to social media, reposted a graphic of him being dealt and wrote, out of there. Your thoughts on the Herb Charles deal?
I mean, he wasn't gonna make the roster anyway. It seems like all accounts, just kind of what I understand. So to be able to get a conditional pick for him, considering he was, he had already got like stickers, and Kane had already kind of, assumed those gunner roles there. So he was kind of the odd man out anyway. And now you get a conditional 2028 pick for them. And yeah, I think it's a good deal for Dan Muji, who's just been a trader. Like he just been making all these trades too. 13 trades since he became the Jets general manager as far as player trades too. So it continues, and I imagine it'll continue throughout the course of training camp too as well.
What's the deal with his post here? Was he unhappy with the Jets? Like, what did the Jets do to him? He tore his ACL.
I don't know. Like, maybe he sees a better opportunity there with the Seahawks, which, I know they are the defending world champions. So maybe that's what he's excited about, getting, with a better organization.
Yeah, this it's just like, geez, Herb Charles, like, what did the Jets do to you? Like, you had a prominent role on the team. You tore your ACL. You didn't play football this past year.
At all, yeah.
And like, what do you want the Jets to do? I'll defend the Jets on that. Jay Quest wanted to know, do you see Arian Smith making the team? So I thought immediately this deal is great for Arian Smith's chances of making the roster. Your thoughts on his status now going into OTAs?
At the very least, I think he's going to be a special teams player. He kind of played a little bit of that gunner role too last year too as well, in addition to Kane and also stickers too. So yeah, I think it bodes well for him too as well, despite up and down rookie year that he had.
I mean, you look at the receiver room: Garrett, Cooper, A.D. Mitchell, Isaiah Williams, Tim Patrick. Arian Smith is, I think he's like the 6th receiver now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think he's definitely going to have to play special teams. Is going to make the roster, which I think he could. Like, I think he's going to be tight, but if I had to guess, I think he does.
In Chris Banjo, I trust. That's how I look at it.
Look, like the man, you can say whatever you want to about the Jets last year, but the special teams was phenomenal. Like punting, kicking, obviously with Folt there. Obviously, that's another thing I'll look to as well. Just kind of the kicking competition too, because they're kind of in the same place that they were last year prior to signing Nick Folt in training camp, where you have this kicking competition that's going on.
So I want your take on something I talked about on my first show today with Omari Brown. Daniel Jeremiah had an interesting tweet where he said the makings of a championship team requires you to have a franchise quarterback, 3 offensive playmakers, 3 quality offensive linemen, 2 pass rushers, and 3 defensive playmakers. Looking at the Jets roster right now, how many of these do they actually have going into the year?
They have 2 offensive playmakers, in Brees and Garrett. The offensive line are good, but I think they have a quality offensive line. I think they have a top 10 to 12 offensive line in the league. Pass rusher, I'll put Will McDonald there. I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan of him as a run defender, but he is a really good pass rusher. So I think they have that. As far as playmakers, yeah, I don't know how many they have there at all, like if any at all. But they definitely have some of those parts. I think most likely, and mostly the offensive line and definitely the offensive playmakers in Garrett and Brees for sure.
I think pass rusher, you're assuming Bailey is definitely one of them. He's the second pick in
You
the
hope
draft.
so. He better be.
Yeah. If he's not, that's a major problem. I think they're short on defensive playmaker. You hope Pons could turn into that. I'm not going to count DeMario because he's so old. Minka, maybe I'd count him. So, like, maybe 1 defensive playmaker. And obviously quarterback. Look, I like Geno as far as being a significant upgrade over, Justin Fields, but I don't think he's the long-term answer. So I think quarterback, no. Offensive playmaker, I'm with you. Count Brees, then you have him and Garrett. You're hoping Sadiq or Cooper or A.D. Mitchell, Taylor, someone could emerge as that clear-cut third playmaker. And I'm with you on the O-line. I think they're fine there. I believe in the tomato can theory. As long as you have just 3 really good O-linemen and the other 2 guys aren't tomato cans, that's a good NFL offensive line in today's day and age.
Yeah, and I think they have 2 really good bookend tackles, and obviously Fashanu and obviously Minbu, and I think it kind of starts there. And I think Tipman did a good job at the guard position last year, and they allowed Josh Myers to be able to be a decent guy at the center. Like, he wasn't the best center in the world, but I think he did a solid job. He did the job. He did exactly what you needed him to do in that situation.
In terms of the quarterback situation beyond just this year, do you think it's 2027, it's the draft, or do you think the Jets are paying extra close attention to this Brendan Sorsby situation here, and he could be in play in the supplemental draft for the Jets?
I think if he's eligible, then yeah, I think it's something that you potentially look at too. I mean, Sorsby, like, if I had to pick him as far as, like, if he came out in 27, I think he's probably like a 2nd-round pick. So I think you would do a 2nd-round tender on him. So yeah, I think it's something that you pay attention to. If the NFL makes him eligible, then yeah, I think it's something that you definitely consider too as well, because you don't know how good or bad you're going to be this upcoming year. And if you end up giving a 2nd-round pick, you already have 3 first-round picks anyway. So I mean, I know you may be a little reluctant to do that, but I can see them at least putting some kind of tender on Soji. It may not be a 2nd-rounder, but it can see them doing some kind of tender on him potentially, because he has talent. Like, that's undeniable. It's just a matter of getting the situation kind of resolved and trying to figure out what's going to happen.
I heard Connor Rogers say he has 1st-round traits and like 3rd-round tape, but like those guys get overdrafted because again, it's quarterback. So I wonder what he'll actually go for in a supplemental draft if he's there, because I could see a team, maybe not the Jets because they're kind of built to get their big swing in 2027, but I could see a team maybe like Pittsburgh or Minnesota, like teams that are good, that aren't bad enough to get the top quarterback, being like, well, like, let's offer a 3rd or maybe a 2nd. We'll get the guy. And it's like, this is our best chance to kind of cut the system, cut the line, and get a top end quarterback without having to use a 1st-round pick to do it.
That's what I was gonna say. I think the Steelers would be perfect for him, because like, you can give up a 2nd-round pick. I mean, the Steelers are gonna be a team that's close to making the playoffs or making the playoffs. So it's gonna be like one of those later 2nd-round picks. So I think you could definitely see them doing that, because if it's not there, then I think there's a lot of talent that's gonna come out in 27, a lot of guys, but you don't know where you're gonna be picking either. So you might get the 7th or 8th best quarterback, available. And, it might be in the same kind of stratosphere and like weight class as Sorsby. So why not just give up the pick now, have him sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year, and then maybe he can be the guy long term.
It's going to be fascinating. Antwan, I appreciate you hopping on. Enjoy OTAs tomorrow. We'll see you in person July 11th, rocking the Speedo and talking about your last place baseball team.
I enjoy the finals. I'm sure you'll enjoy the Knicks being there for the first time in like forever.
Yeah, 27 years, but hey, who's counting? You're the man, Antwan. Thanks for coming on.
All right, take it easy.
Antwan Staley for the Daily News. Good stuff with him previewing OTAs. Let me give a huge shout out to to Oscar the Grouch. He wants in on the David Bailey giveaway for a Bailey jersey at the end of the show, or Sadiq or Cooper. Pick your player. Oscar, you're the man. Let's go. Hit it. Call-in line is posted. We need some calls today to keep the show rolling here. J.A. Silent Bob, Donald Johnson, Stewie Uploads, Eli_T Do, and Yo Elvis, all receiving a gifted membership there from the one, the only Oscar the Grouch.
Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
Oscar, thank you very much. Let's see here. Oscar actually had a Nick-related question I wanted to talk about. Jake, if the Knicks win it all, does Brunson in your mind go down as the greatest Knick of all time, replacing Walt-Clyde Frazier? No, I don't think so. I think Clyde is number one. He's won 2 championships. He also had arguably the greatest Game 7 performance of all time. The Willis Reed game should be renamed the Walt-Clyde Frazier game. If you go back and look, he had like a 35-point triple-double in the Knicks win over the Lakers to win their first title. So I think that goes without saying. But I think Brunson's number 2 if they win a championship for what it means. You know, we always talked about Mark Messier winning that title with the Rangers in 94. How that one championship means more than like the 5 or 6, whatever it was he won with Edmonton. One championship with the Knicks is not the same thing as a championship in another market. It's just not. And that would elevate Brunson. It would. But I don't think he could pass Clyde. I think he could pass Patrick. You could argue he could pass Willis. The fact that we can have these conversations, though, is pretty surreal, man. It really is. By the way, F. Herb Charles. I can't say that enough. What the hell did the Jets do to you? Out of there. Yes, they paid you millions of dollars, offered you a contract even after you were hurt. But let's dump on them on the way out. We'll see you later.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Clown. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's get to your call, shall we? Derek started off today. Derek, hello, sir.
Hey, Jake.
Wait a
How
second.
you doing, brother, man?
Derek, hold on. My bad.
You're good.
I'm not used to something here. I forgot that we now have an intro for Derek. It's brand new. I think he's only called one time since we had the intro in place. So everyone pretend like what you just saw there from Derek actually didn't happen. Because really, if you think about it, it didn't happen. It was a figment of your imagination. Here's Derek's intro.
He's the brother man, Kansas dude who loves the Jets. He's the brother man, can't be more polite and chat. He's the brother man, they call him Derek and he's totally cool. He's the brother man, he's Derek, the Kansas Jets fan.
Yeah, hello, Derek.
What is up, brother, man? Dude, I could watch that a million times. I don't think I'd ever get tired of it. Couple things to address today. Congrats on your Knicks, man. Even as a Lakers fan, dude, I'm kind of bandwagoning on the team. I hope that's okay. I hope they go all the way. I don't really care for the Thunder or the Spurs.
Welcome aboard.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me. A couple points. I actually really love Daniel Jeremiah's list there on things that he thinks that you need in order to be like Super Bowl contention. I kind of honestly feel, I know I'm usually like pretty optimistic prior to the upcoming season, but I don't think that we're that far off from having like an actual roster that can contend and win games against. Like, I think that we have one of the most and youngest talented rosters in the entire NFL. Like, I'd probably say like top 10 to 12. I think that'd be fair in terms of the youth and the amount of talent that's in place. I can't think of a lot of NFL teams that have just 2 pillars at both tackles. And we might not be the best inside, but I do love Tippmann. I'd seen your top 10 Jets list that you did with Tanky V the other day, and I love that Olu, Membu, and Tippmann were all in there. I really think this team has a lot of potential to be in every single game this year. It's just going to rely on the coaching staff. But, there it is. I like that list a lot. I like that you had Harrison Phillips in there, too. It gets lost on people that he was like top 6 run defender last year.
He plays his role perfectly, and I didn't include rookies on my list. The one regret I have is I feel like I should have found a spot somewhere potentially for Jawan Briggs, but I went with Phillips because he's been on the show before, so the tiebreaker was friend of the show. We'll put you on.
Heck yeah. I think that's a very fair list. I'm very excited. I was listening to a little bit of NFL NFL Network today, and they said that one of the reasons the Seahawks beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl this year was they ran a lot of 6-0 coverage, over 51% of the snaps. So I was trying to think about ways that we can potentially win the division. That I forget who you had on your show. It said that, what was that? I have it typed in my notes here. In 6 games last year, we had less than 100 passing yards. In 3 games, under 60. Like, I don't know what kind of defense can thrive under that like kind of situation. And Geno Smith might be our best passer since Sam Darnold and Ryan Fitzpatrick. And to your point, I think you said on one of your shows, he's thrown for 4,000 yards in 2 of each the last 4 seasons, and we haven't seen that since '67. The great Joe Willie Namath. I kind of wanted to get your guess on, let's see, how many yards and touchdowns you think Geno will have?
I struggle with this one because
it is tough.
And I just think if the Jets are bad, we're going to see Klubnik at some point. Like, they'll make the quarterback change when they're out of it. Like, we saw Brady Cook play this past year, for crying out loud. Now, if you tell me Geno's going to play, let's say at least 15 games, I think he's throwing for 3,500 yards at the minimum. I do. Like, especially if the Jets are in catch-up mode in some of these games, like, he'll throw downfield and try and make plays. So it's tough. If you told me he had 4,000 yards this year, it's not the most shocking thing in the world if you think about it. It's not. They have the weapons. They have the O-line. And he's done it recently. It's not like this is a while ago. Like, again, he's a season removed from doing it in Seattle.
Right. I actually love that a lot. What do you think it would take for Zappe or Klubnik to get a start? Do you think it'd be like 2-4 or 3-3? What would the record have to be? And do you think that they will make Klubnik compete with Zappe for the number 2?
I think Klubnik is going to end up being their number 2. That's my early prediction. I've been on this for a while too, so I hope I'm right, because my take will have aged well. But do I think that Klubnik's the backup? I do. And I think the record would have to be a lot worse than 2-3. Like 2-3, you're sticking with Geno. Like, I think they would only make a quarterback change if, they're 0-7 again. If not, like, Geno's going to get the whole first half of the year. Like, again, the Jets, if you look at where their bye is, it actually, if they're relevant till the bye, and then they fall out of it after that stretch of Bills, Chargers, Dolphins. Let's say they hit the bye. They're going into week 14 after they have their bye week all the way in week 13. You could see Klubnik starting the last 5 games of the season if they're out of it. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, if they're out of contention. Do you think Klubnik will earn QB2 spot before the season?
Yeah,
camp?
I think he wins it. I do.
I hope so. Well, Jake, I will let you get some other callers. I think that's all I got for you today. Love your show and the fellow ass maniacs. I hope you all have a great one, man. And as always, JETS, Jets. Let's go, baby.
Derek, you're the man. Appreciate you. No one is currently on hold right now besides one man. Actually, I lied. There are 2 people currently on hold. But if you want in, very little wait time. So keep the show rolling with your calls. Appreciate everyone who's hanging out with us here. OTAs tomorrow for the media. Nick Faria is going to be there. He'll join me tomorrow afternoon for a live recap. And then Jets Collective with Samini on the Collective YouTube channel Friday afternoon. So we'll get Samini's takeaways from OTAs. But the Jets did bless us with some Geno Smith running onto the field today with the helmet on. Geno back with the team that drafted him. Year or stint 2 with the Jets, Geno. More of your calls. Hit it.
Purple belt Mike, he loves the dark knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, he might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Oh, fuck.
Let's fucking go Knicks, baby. Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
JTS! Yes! Let's go Knicks! This our year, baby! Win the chip!
Hell yeah, Lowski. Fuck yeah. We're going to win. I don't care if it's the Spurs. I don't care if it's the Thunder. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The way that the Knicks are playing right now, we are a fucking wrecking ball, and everyone's going to get killed by us. Let's go. Okay? Let's go. And Jets point, if we can just complete a pass, it's going to look good. So, Geno, complete a pass, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it, baby. Vibes. The vibes are high. The vibes are high. Man, I haven't felt this good. I think since the day I got married. Man, it feels good.
Wow.
Let's go, Knicks, baby.
I love when
Let's
Mike's
go.
happy. It's so rare when you do a daily Jet show to have like happy calls, especially after the season the Jets just had. But seeing you this way about the Knicks, just it brings a tear to my eyes.
Dude, you should have did another Knicks outing this year.
I know you know what the problem was? The rates were so much more money, and I knew we were gonna have some big events, and I didn't want to like oversaturate the events. I wanted to make them affordable.
It was fun last year though. I wore my Jake Asman Knicks polo to work today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and 2 people called it out. They're like, "Hey, I know what that is." I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. They didn't put it together though that I was Purple Belt Mike. I'm like,
wait, really?
They couldn't put it together. Yeah.
One day
I guess
you
I wear
will.
a hat a lot. I don't know.
You'll get recognized like V-Man got recognized in the supermarket.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, that'd be funny.
You're the man, Mike.
Let's go Knicks, baby. Let's fucking go.
Sadiq. Certified freak. Just got off the John. Oh, yeah. We're running.
You know how long that thermostat's been on there? 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
18 years.
I'm trying to place. I'm on right now. Now, let's get back to our feature presentation featuring Dr. Jake Asman. Take it away, Dr. Jake.
Just leave a message. Just leave a message. Thank you.
More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to the Beast.
13
You know how long that thermostat's been on there, Beast? 18 years.
Try 18, kid. And I scratched. That's not a good sign.
Did you break the thermostat? What's that about?
No, that's old. No, it's been there for too long. Times have changed. New one's already on. Can you say it now? Can we get those Spurs so we could give them the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Veteran Jet fan says you always disrespect your mom.
I'm not gonna talk to the chat today. Today's a new day. As in the words of the great Sister Mary Clarence, today is a brand new day. And you might think you laugh at me. There's no sun in this room. You're not gonna get a tan. Take off the glasses. If they are a prescription, I don't want to see them. I want to see you. I want to look into your eyes, and I hope you can look into mine.
Why do you want it so dark in there, though?
Do I have to sound like Miss Sister Mary Clarence? Go, hey, you don't like what you see? Hey, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the ass on the way out.
Let's talk more about this thermostat situation. So
It's fine.
Was something replaced after 18 years?
Hey, that new thermostat comes handy. It had to be done. No choice.
A source tells me, Luby, that a new thermostat was installed last night.
Please, are you crazy? That got installed today. Taken care of. It's fine. Now let's boogie on down. Get in the words of the great Steve Urkel. Let's get down with our band. So can't touch this. Can't touch this. Hey, my, can't touch this. Music hits me so hard, makes me say, "Oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me." Now you know you talk too much. Now you can't touch. I told y'all, can't touch this. Sadiq, certified freak. Just got off the John. Oh yeah, we're running.
Ladies and gentlemen, no one is currently on hold. If there's ever been a time for you to call in, it is right now. Team Curry with a super chat. God bless you, Jake, for talking Jets 24/7 and not going bat bleep crazy. Well, I'm definitely crazy. We have some much potential with our young players, but Glenn scares me. Let's go Knicks. Thank God for the Knicks. Thank God for the Knicks. I don't expect the Jets to be very good. I'll be able to deal with it a lot easier this year if the Knicks give me a championship. That's just how I am. Like I'm not going to discriminate against any of my teams winning a title. I'll take it. Dana writes in, will the playoff drought reach the age of the Beast thermostat? God, I hope not. That thing is 18 years old. One of these days, we got to get Mama Beast on the show. I'd love to talk with her. Jets rookie giveaway for a jersey at the end of the show. David Bailey, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq. Those are your options, Jet fans. Be one of the first people to own a Bailey, Sadiq, or Cooper jersey. Gift a membership for your chance to enter. Comments, questions, super chats. You guys know the drill. They cut the line. Let's say hello to a man who's been described as the Beast Whisperer.
When his home smell is on the bed, that's what feels good. On the road smell is on the bed, in a dirty hotel room. Cause the show smell is on the bed, it's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super jets. When the big fella sleeps alone, there's no room on his bed. Well, that's a big fella.
What's up, man?
Hello, big fella.
How's it going?
I'm living the dream.
All right. It's quiet time of year, isn't it?
Very quiet.
I'm happier if Charles is gone, man. I couldn't stand that guy.
Yeah, you didn't like Irv Charles. I just didn't care enough about Irv Charles to have a strong enough opinion.
Yeah, once Hardy left and he became like the head of the special teams unit, he committed a ton of penalties, man. And I was just like, I'm if Arian Smith is going to do one thing, let's let him be gunner, and hopefully he excels at that. You know what I mean?
At least he did do that as a rookie.
Yeah. Now, you watched the game last night, obviously, the Spurs versus OKC.
I did.
OKC, I think we could beat OKC, bro. I really
think
do.
so too. I think so as well. I obviously they'll be the favorites of the defending champs, but the way the Knicks are playing right now, they're playing better basketball than the Thunder are. They just are. Like it's
yeah, I agree. And to me, and they flop a lot and everything, but I also think that they're soft. I think that I think the Knicks will manhandle them like down low and everything. And I don't know. I think we could take both of them. Wemby scares me, bro. Wemby is. If I were to pick between one or the other, I would want the Spurs, but Wemby is. We got to get him now because he is a beast, man.
I think they're going to lose it either in 6 or 7, though. I think it's going to be the Thunder.
I think so too.
Now, do you get to take any credit for the Knicks reaching the finals? Because I'm told that your conversation this night with Jalen Brunson truly inspired him.
Yeah, I'm sure he totally forgets that, and that's cool, bro. But Jalen Brunson, he was very nice though when I talked to him. He was very.
Uh-oh. Did we lose the big fella? You got a call.
Oh, that was Jalen Brunson. But yeah. No, I have to take that. But yeah, no, Jalen Brunson is great. He brought life back to New York basketball, and let's go Knicks. Let's kick some ass. And hopefully they're not rusty when they come back, but I really don't see much of a I don't see them as being like the big obstacle that we have to get in the championship. Let's just say that.
Look, the rust could be a thing, but the other team is also going to get at least 4 days off as well. So I just think you take the rest every time. And think about it like this. I saw a great stat today from Tommy Beer. So the Knicks beat the Hawks on April 30th. Mm-hmm. That was game 6. They played game 1 of the finals on June 3rd. So that means they would have played 8 games over 35 days because they swept their last 2 series. So they've had an all-star break worth of rest between each of these series here. That's insane.
That's true. What do you think about Holmgren? What do you think about him? I think he's soft. I really do.
I mean, he's a great player, though, man. When he's on, he can hit from all over, and he's just the size and skill set he has is crazy.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's starting to flop now a lot too, man.
They all do. That's the problem. That team is so frustrating to watch.
I know. I can't watch them. My son and I were watching. We're like, this is awful basketball, bro. This is so bad. And him being the MVP is a disgrace, bro. I mean, he is a free throw merchant. It's I I don't know. I understand he's a good player and everything, but bro, play the game right. Stop acting. If you want to act, go to Hollywood. Enough of this shit.
Amen.
But I think the Knicks are going to be just fine, bro. I really do.
Big fella, from your lips to God's ears.
Yeah. Have a good day, man. I'll
Ladies
talk to you
and gentlemen,
soon.
the big fella checking in.
Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go.
That was big fella when he met Jalen Brunson. He was very happy. Someone wrote, "Is this AI?" No, but the fact that people just assume everything is AI now is hilarious because sometimes the AI is so good you can't tell. Super chat from PBM. Wemby don't like physical play. Knicks in 4 versus 4. It would not be in 4, Mike, but I love the optimism. I think it's going to be a long series either way. About to take out a small mortgage to afford finals tickets. Probably only able to do one of the finals games. So it's got to be game 3, right? If you only go to one game, go to the first one in 27 years. Because even if they don't win, and I'm not trying to be negative, I'm just putting myself through the lens of me as a fan. At least I'll always have the pregame warm-ups, the intros for the first Knick final game in 27 years. But why can't they win? Of course they can. Let's see. Get in on the conversation. Last chance to do so. Again, we have a David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq, or Omar Cooper Jr. raffle up for grabs. More of your calls right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. Is a man that calls us from the inside or the outside. Where is he calling us from today? You decide.
I'm no mathematician, but the way the Knicks are going, by game 3, that series could be over.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. Do you have that graphic up that Jeremiah tweeted out?
Right here.
There we go. So, we feel comfortable about the O-line pieces, right? We certainly don't feel comfortable about the quarterback. We know we got one coming. We're hopeful, right? And maybe a couple of swings at the pinata with Klubnik, and God only knows what's going to happen with Sorsby. If we overperform this year, could we go into the Baker Mayfield spring sweepstakes? I wouldn't think so. I think they'd want to draft a guy, but I mean, just throwing it out there, right? You probably want to draft and develop with a young team. That's probably the way to go. Although, if you brought in a veteran guy, it might be turnkey, right? As far as defensive playmakers go, who on this? I mean, I think we feel like DeMario is closer to off the roster than being an elite playmaker, right? It was a 2-year deal, but essentially a year-by-year deal. Right. Minka, while he's been that in the past, I don't know that you can expect that from him. I think that the young player that might possibly be that most likely is Pons, if we can develop him. Would you agree?
Pons would be the name to watch if I had to highlight one. Because I think it's Minka, and then I'm going to put anyone else as defensive playmaker.
Right. So, as far as like pass rushers go, I mean, I think that, Will has proved that he can get there. He just hasn't proved he can get there consistently, and not when we're like in tight games. Like when we're ahead, I think that he's been able to tee off a little bit, and his sacks have come in bunches. I feel like at some point, especially if we can retain all those picks next year, that might be another opportunity for us to go out and get an edge, if we don't have to go up and get a quarterback. And then the playmakers, I think Antwan was saying Brees and Garrett, and we feel pretty comfortable about that. And then we have to have someone emerge from Cooper and Sadiq, and I'm not even going to go as far as AD because I was on Boy Green this morning, and his drop rate is astronomical if you look at it. It's like more than 3 times Garrett's. So like that's something for him to work on, for him to be, even a passable wide receiver 3 in this league. But he's getting an opportunity with it, and with his skill set, and as a premier separator, that's all you can ask for at this point. He's kind of squandered opportunities in the past when he was on turf, when he's fumbling the ball going into the end zone. So, I kind of want to downplay expectations for AD, and anything that he gives us where he's stretching the field and demanding attention is basically more than we could have wanted, because he was the throw-in. I mean, let's be honest about it.
Yeah. I like the upside there. Again, if he's your number 3 and not your number 2, that probably is better suited. He's probably closer to a 4, but he's going to get at least an opportunity here. And that's one of the things he told me when we had him on the show, that he felt like he's a rookie again with the Jets and was so excited for the opportunity. No preconceived notions, like a chance to go out there and prove himself.
So the way I see it, as far as being Super Bowl ready per Jeremiah's criteria, I still think we're 4 players away. The quarterback, obviously, right? At least 2 defensive playmakers, assuming Pons pans out. I think that we're probably going to go back into the market for an edge within the next year or so, and we need another playmaker. So, we're in the middle of the rebuild right now, but we like some of the players we took this year. I think that there's a lot of developmental upside. Maybe we haven't seen the best of Juwan Briggs yet. There's a lot of people that seem to feel that way. I think Nadia wrote an article about that in the last day or so, right? And then, are we going to see the best football from someone like Tavondre Sweat? Because he could be that guy, right? He's playing for a new contract. Now, the problem with Tavondre Sweat is if you pay him, do you still get the version of Tavondre Sweat that was playing for a contract? I don't know. It's interesting. We're at a key point in our development where we have a couple of cast-offs. We get a couple of young players that have a very little experience, where we're looking to see if somebody pops, and this will be a fun year to kind of see that and see where and reassess next year about what we can be if we can get these premium players that are in the next draft and hit the ground running. That's all I have.
Kyle, great shirt.
Thanks, man.
Love it. Great call. And he's right. I think all fair expectations for what this team is. I am cautiously optimistic about AD Mitchell, though. I know the Jets like him more than what the public thinks about him. But he's got to prove himself. He was great when he came on the show, Super Bowl week this past year. Ryan says, is that a Bailey jersey behind you? It is. You want one, Ryan? Enter the raffle. I got Bailey. I got an Omar Cooper jersey for myself. I'm a size medium. I got it right here. All right. I'm going to get Sadiq next. But if you want one for yourself, get a membership. Send me a Venmo, Jake-Asman, or Super Chat, $10 or more to qualify. Last chance to get in. Bit of a shorter show today. OTA start tomorrow, so we'll ramp up our coverage then. We're going to be joined by Nick Faria in the afternoon. He'll be at OTAs in the morning. O'Leary will join me tomorrow morning. Get his thoughts on everything. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gustbuster Umbrella hotline right now is a man we revere in this community.
I got my Iron UJ. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, David.
Well, Clyde Frazier, my all-time favorite. He wore he was one of the first that had his signature sneakers, Clyde Pumas. I had a pair of Pumas. I was a paper boy, paid for them with my own money. I think they were like $16. My high school team wore Pumas a couple years, and I really would rather not compare him and Brunson. Brunson is just a phenomenon, you know, and he's still a baby and all that kind of stuff. But boy, just two great players, two great personalities. As far as the Jets go, this is, you know, whether we have Aaron Glenn after this year or not. I mean, he's got the opportunity, but it's going to be a development year, and the arrow is pointing forward. And my positivity is, you know, is good, and I just love the GM, Jake. So that's all I got.
You believe in the Mooch?
Absolutely. I think he's terrific.
Good job.
Max.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you, Max. I hope you like the Mooj too.
David T, you're the man.
Thank you, Jake. You're the man.
I've got my eye on you. Checkmate me, full screen bitch. Fireball, whiskey time, David motherfucking T.
And now, back to our feature presentation. 3, 2, 1. I said, let's get back to our feature presentation with Dr. Jake Asman, PhD. Tweet. String in the cheese.
Alfred, Batman's assistant.
Right. After all, Batman has to have an assistant, especially when he has to fight crime.
But who's Batman?
You'll see. Pow! Boom! Clean! Weem! Wham! Batman.
Hey, Amanda wants to know what I have a PhD in, Beast.
Would you have a PhD in? Well, you do got good brains, and you got some good psychology. Very, very astonishing.
That answers it. Thank you, Beast.
Fascinating. Oh,
Great
I'm not
point,
noticing.
Jake. You hit it right there.
You're bringing back the bartender Jake. You should be good in the cowboy. You should be in a cowboy movie going on. Will be stranger.
You mean my beard's growing back, Beast?
Yep, I could see it. You got that, little. Yeah, you should be a great bartender. Go like, will be stranger.
Great point, Beast. You hit it right there.
Great point, Jake. You hit it right there.
Are we ready for the? Are we ready for the big wheels? Did I get the surprise ready?
Not yet, but almost.
Good.
Hey, Beast, you want in on the raffle?
Sure. Hey, where am I gonna go? Mars? I know me. I'm afraid of heights. That's my problem. Well, I gotta get used to heights.
Well, I'm gonna gift you a membership. All right.
Boing!
You're gonna be in the raffle for one. All right. Not a ton of people have entered today, so you got great odds to win a jersey.
You've heard of MC Hammer, right? That can't touch this. No, can't touch this.
I've interviewed MC Hammer.
And he's a great rapper. Him, DMX, and you cannot forget Notorious B.I.G. Now, Notorious B.I.G., that's a rapper right there. And don't forget the great, make him say, you know who I'm referring to? The man.
Well, Beast, you're officially in the raffle for one. Hit it.
Sadiq. Certified freak. Just got off the John. Oh, yeah. We're running.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gifted membership went to Jorge Fernandez, but I'm putting Beast in for one. Good luck, Beast. You got a great chance to win a Jets jersey, Jets rookie jersey. Sadiq the Freak 7 days a week. Omar Cooper Jr. and David Bailey. Ladies and gentlemen, back-to-back Venmos just now. ISU sent me a Venmo. He is in for 2. And Cisco Lopez just sent me a Venmo. $40 Venmo. Well done. 8 raffle tickets for Cisco. And when that happens, we do this.
Sometime I do super chat. Sometime I do give membership. But all the time I love the Jake Asman show. They call me Cisco Lopez.
Cisco in the Asmaniac raffle for a chance to win the Bailey jersey or Sadiq or Omar Cooper Jr. Thank you, Cisco, for your contributions. Always appreciate it. How about this from Ricky NY? Ricky in for 1.
Can't wait.
Thank you very much, Ricky. And 5 spot from the Poon Man. Major Poonage already had 4 tickets. Now he's got a total of 9. Let's go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Poon gifting 5. Here's who got him. If you hear your name, you say thank you, Mr. Poon. Jay Graves, Mizzo09, Halo Man Spider, Coobs Coffee Talk, MetaMac96, all receiving a gifted membership. Let's see. All right, we are caught up on the memberships there. Now, this is interesting. The great Kyle Clifton is called back in. Kyle, did you have another point?
I did. I haven't really gotten too nervous in the couple of years that I've been calling into the show, but apparently today I totally forgot my Knicks point. So I don't know that. Have you seen that Chris Russo's been going around making the rounds and basically telling anyone who will listen that Jalen Brunson isn't one of the top 3 Knicks of all time?
Yeah, I haven't heard all his comments, but I did hear him on a couple of shows. But I didn't hear him say that specifically, though. Who did he say was ahead of Brunson?
He was basically saying he was 4th, and I think he's partial to Clyde and Willis Reed and perhaps even Ewing.
I think he's 4 right now. I think with a championship, he can go as high as 2.
Well, that's the thing. He was kind of dismissing the whole idea of Brunson out of hand, even if he wins. And to me, you can't do that. Like he was talking about, the '90s teams. Like, well, they had such bad luck, blah blah blah. He mentioned the brawl with Miami. I'm like, relax. That is not bad luck. That is bad decisioning. That's not the mentality of a championship when you have guys that are suspended and they miss games 6 and 7. Your key players are missing games and you lose, and then they go to on that your key rival goes on to face your other key rival and loses in 4 when that team is built to win now and in your prime. Like that was the problem I had with his argument. Like, that PJ Brown and Charlie Ward fight, like that's inexcusable by the Knicks. They have to keep. I know they were built around physicality, but they had to keep their head in that instance, and that was not the mentality of a champion in the moment, right? So you contrast that with what you're seeing from Brunson and these Knicks right now. These guys are all fucking business.
Yep. And they didn't even celebrate with alcohol or beer of any kind after they clinched in Cleveland. And one of the things I noticed that Kat said that I thought was great was they want to get right back to the gym. And the fact that they just had a 9-day layoff, and Kat said they came out rusty for the first 3 quarters of game 1, they're going to do things differently this go around before they play in the final. So I think the fact that the Knicks have already been in this spot is only going to help them now going forward.
No, I think they realize Brunson is 6'2" and he's almost 30 years old. The window is closing, right? Like he's one of their best players. You have to strike while the iron is hot, and that would have been my point to Mad Dog. And when you see him, you can impart that bit of wisdom to him.
I'll let him know.
I'll talk to you soon,
Kyle. Appreciate you, man. Great call. I think the Knicks got a great chance. I do. I would have preferred San Antonio. I think it's going to end up being OKC. First, I hope it goes 7, but I think they got a chance. I truly believe that. Also, shout out to Oscar the Grouch. He wanted his 5 memberships spread out with one going to Beast. So, Beast, you're in the raffle now for 2 entries. One for me and one from Oscar. Oscar, you have 4 entries, if I'm understanding your comment. It's a show featuring callers calling in twice. Derek has called back in. Hello, Derek.
Jake, I've totally gapped it. I wondered what matchups intrigue you most tomorrow for the OTAs.
What
are you
matchup in
looking at the
particular?
most?
David
Corners,
Bailey
receiver.
versus either of the Jet stud tackles.
Nice. I like that. If you had to pick which corners receivers you want to see going up, is it Pons, Garrett, or
Yeah.
who do you got there?
Yeah, Pons and Garrett. I mean, we might not even get that because they might ease him in slowly where he's on the second team or the third team. But yeah, I'm in. So
I could see that.
Sign me up.
I'm very excited for all the footage that's going to be coming out tomorrow because I've been dying for some Jets football. Like, they kind of teased us today, but I'm hoping that we just get a bunch of clips dumped on us tomorrow. And then one more time, I know I asked you before, but this was probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I wanted to ask you a record prediction for the upcoming season.
For the Jets?
And then I wanted to give you mine, yeah.
I'm at 6-11 right now.
6-11. I think that's fair. I think if we win it, we haven't won more than 7 games in a decade. So I think if we go if we can win 8 or 9, which I'm a little bit skeptical on, I'll be stringing the cheese. All right, I think that's all I got for you, brother. Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Derek, the Jet fan. Did he just say what I think he just said?
Stringing
Did he
the
just
cheese.
say what I think he just said? Folks, this man is doing God knows what.
Let's play that new video, Stringing the Cheese, please. Stringing the Cheese.
Holy shit, ass maniacs. You know what time it is? Time to get to that beast attic and string some cheese. The Jets win the offseason. That's got me stringing the cheese. The Knicks comeback breaks records. That's got me stringing the cheese. The Yankees crush the Red Sox. That's got me stringing the cheese. When Cisco send gift memberships. That's got me stringing the cheese. Oh, stringing the cheese make me happy. My stringing the cheese might look messy, but clean up is a pleasure after a damn good stringing the cheese. Oh, yeah. The Jets could make the playoffs. That's got me stringing the cheese. My New York Knicks could be champions. That's got me stringing the cheese. The Yankees chasing 28. That's got me stringing the cheese. When Mimosa sends a super chat. That's got me stringing the cheese. Oh, stringing the cheese make me happy. My stringing the cheese might look messy, but clean up is a pleasure after a damn good stringing the cheese. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm stringing the cheese.
Stringing the Cheese.
Our Gator McCluskey masterpiece, if I do say so myself. Last chance to get in on the show and the Asmaniac raffle. Couple raffle shout outs here. Nick Shine says, Bailey jersey for Cisco if I win. Please and thank you. Nick Shine, you dog. You're in for 2, and if you win, it will go to the Cisco Lopez. Thank you, Nick. Aaron says, let's freaking go Knicks. Aaron, go New York. Go New York. Go. Aaron is in for 2. Let's go.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
I just saw this from Rich Samini. I'll get back to your calls shortly here. So with the trade today of Herb Charles, Darren Muji has completed 13 player trades since last August. This is from Rich Samini's X account. Harrison Phillips from Minnesota, Jawan Briggs from Cleveland, Derek Nandi to KC, Jarvis Brownlee Jr. from Tennessee, Michael Carter to Philadelphia, Sauce Gardner to Indy, Quinnen Williams to Dallas, Jasir Taylor from the Chargers. That's 2025. Now this year, Jermaine Johnson to Tennessee for Tavondre Sweat. Micah Fitzpatrick from Miami. Geno Smith from Vegas. Justin Fields to KC. Herb Charles to Seattle. Now, we got to wait and see how Sweat plays with the Jets and Minka. But has he made a bad deal yet? I like all these. And I think the Sweat and Minka deals were really good moves. Getting anything for Justin Fields is a win. Getting anything for Herb Charles is a win. They're small wins, but it's a win. Muji knows what he's doing. He's going to have to get the quarterback and possibly the coaching hire right. That will define him. But he has a really good feel for the trade market. Again, has Darren Muji made a bad trade to this point? Obviously, we will see how Sweat and Minka play, Geno, all that. But again, like, there's sound logic behind all these decisions, and some of these have been big wins for the Jets. Phillips, Briggs, Brownlee, big wins. They gave up nothing for those guys. The value they got for Sauce, no one thought they could get. The value they got for Quinnen, no one thought they could get. And the best part of the Quinnen deal is that they get the better of the first rounder this year from Dallas or Green Bay. Again, I'm stringing the cheese to Darren Muji's trades here. Very good stuff. Beast, you stringing the cheese to Muj?
Just throw the football to him. Yeah. Well, you know what kind of cheeses I like? I like fresh mutts, but I don't like sticky provolone in my socks. And then it's like, bad odor. Tweet. Stringing the cheese.
All right, more of your calls before we wrap this baby up. Last call for the raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline right now is...
I'm Ricky, New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State, I really love Florida State. Jordan Travis, you know it's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State, I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, Jake.
Jake, what's happening?
Ricky.
So OTAs are here, and I mean, we're only going to be able to, gain so much knowledge out of that, a bunch of guys in shorts. But I'm curious to see, how the new guys look. How do they look out there with the veterans? But one player that I'm interested in seeing and looking forward to watching this season, you mentioned Muji and the trades earlier. Part of that Sauce trade, I mean, if we would have just got 2 1s for Sauce, that's an amazing trade. But he stuck to his guns, insisted that we get A.D. Mitchell. And even as recently as, after we drafted Omar Cooper and they asked Muji about it, Muji was like, and we've still got A.D. Mitchell. And we're very excited about that player. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. But going back, and watching last year, I mean, granted, his first game was a rough one. He had some drops. But, dude, whether it was Kool-Aid McKinstry, Christian Gonzalez, that guy got open versus everybody. And this year, he's not coming fresh off a trade. He's not thrust into the number 1 role because Garrett is hurt. So he's going to be facing number 2 corners. And the guy can get separation on damn near anybody. So I'm looking really, really forward to seeing what A.D. Mitchell is going to do this year. I think he is that number 2 wide receiver that we've all been wanting. And I think he's going to have a big year for us. So looking very forward to that.
Ricky, I'll tell you what, if he has a big year for them, I think his offense is going to be really, really good. Because think about how many guys they have. And if A.D. Mitchell's having a big year too, that's impressive.
62 catches, 843 yards, 8 touchdowns.
Those are wide receiver 2 numbers.
Yeah, so that's my prediction for him for the year. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get this thing rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, an optimistic, as usual, Ricky NY.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Give him a hug, Woody. Good call, Ricky. I hope you're right. Lou B in the house. Put me in, Jake. Go Knicks. Go Jets. Gangrene Beach Club. Tennessee Meetup. LFG. Tailgate. Things are happening. Jets wild card. LFG. Hit the Lou B Jet Chat. Jets. Let's go. Omar Ochoa in the house. Shout out to you, Omar. You are in for one. Omar, thank you. Last call for raffle names. I got no one on hold right now, so I'm not doing a 2-hour show. We'll cap it at 90 minutes here on a Wednesday afternoon. OTAs tomorrow for media, so we'll have plenty to react to on the field, which will be fun. Dark Knight Steve says, Ricky NY is the man. Dark Knight, well said. Agreed.
Just leave a message. Just leave a message. Thank you.
Are we ready?
Almost. I just wanted to see how you're doing, Alfred.
Just playing some pocket pool and already scoring some big hits. There's more to come. Now let's get back to our feature presentation and close up the show. Sadiq. Certified freak. Just got off the John. Oh, yeah. We're running.
Oh, yeah. You ever notice that Gator always has violent ends to a lot of his videos? Notice all these intros. People are falling. People are getting hit by stuff. Things are being thrown around. Think about some of these intros.
Women need to vacuum and shouldn't be allowed to vote. Yeah, ladies, you can do music.
Even like Chuck Wagon. Like, look at Chuck Wagon's wagon explode.
Chuck Wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck Wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck Wagon.
Now, why did Chuck Wagon need to drive his wagon off what looked like a cliff in the Grand Canyon there? Bang Mateo says, I'm not surprised, but amazed at the fan base. It's like mental illness. Bang. You're tuning into a Jet show in May. Do you think people who are negative about the team like you are going to be here every day? You're the one with a mental illness. Let fans try and be optimistic. All right. Give me a break. I love Bang complaining that people are optimistic. It's like, dude, you're the one watching the show. Nick Shine says, every great artist has a signature. Gators is violence. It's true. Amanda says, I've run out of things to discuss, but it's an astute observation nonetheless. Well, this is what happens when no one is on hold, besides this man.
Nonetheless, I used to say that at every pay-per-view back in 2012 when I was doing it live AAW shows. And I used to, nonetheless, we have stringing the cheese.
All right. I'm almost done counting the raffle names. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play a short clip. On the other side, we're going to spin the Wheel of Champions. Who wants a Jets David Bailey jersey? I got one of the first ones right behind me. If you want one, you have 45 seconds to enter the raffle.
Hey everyone, I finally used Thunder Lips' air fryer, as you guys can see. As you can finally see. Son of a... As you guys can finally see. There you go. I finally used it. I'm going to finally taste one and see how I like it. Delicious. A+. Thank you, Thunder Lips. You're the man.
Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for the Wheel of Champions? We better be ready. Let's bring on the master of raffle ceremony.
Gorilla Monsoon here, coming to you live from our global studio headquarters. Ladies, Bree's bringing that wheel. We're gonna get a winner today at a Bailey jersey. I hope you all are ready for this. Now the wheel is at my turning point. Are we ready, ladies, to spin the wheel of champion at 3, 2, 1? Let it rip, boys!
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Job well done, Beast. Job well done. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, in at the buzzer here. Derek, got you in for another entry. Thank you, as always, my friend, for your support. All right. If you win, to claim your prize, email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name, your address, the Jets first round pick you want the jersey in, the color, and the size. Now that we've established that, we spin the Wheel of Champions. Hold on. Big fella at the actual buzzer. I was about to press the wheel. Yo, just found duck eggs in my backyard. Put me in the raffle.
I only worry about one person's penis, and that's mine. So everybody else's, I don't really care.
Big fella, you are in the Asmaniac raffle for 2. Here we go, folks. One spin to determine a new winner. And the winner is the Poon Man. Major Poonage has done it. He is this afternoon's Wheel of Champion winner. Congratulations to Major Poonage. We love to see it. Couple super chats before we wrap this baby up. Smartass says, is Green Bay now a win with the Jacobs issue? No. Is it easier if he doesn't play and Micah doesn't play? No doubt. But that's not a win. You think the Packers are like, man, we don't have we don't have Josh Jacobs. We're fucked. Excuse my language. We're screwed. We can't win. Like, I don't think so. Is it potentially better for the Jets? Yeah, we don't have to pretend like it's not. Yeah, I love when coaches are like, no, it doesn't matter. No excuses. No, it's an excuse. He's a really good player. My favorite was when Rex actually acknowledged that. I always go back to that Hard Knocks scene in 2010 when he's addressing the team for the first time and Revis is having the contract dispute, so he's not there. He's like, hey, guys, we don't have Revis in this building. Does it matter that Revis is not there? Goddamn, he's pretty freaking good. And then he talks about how it doesn't matter. They got to lead the league in wins. So I love Rex, man. Miss those days. Omar, Asmaniac Super Chat, 31 months. This show gets me by. Thank you, Jake, especially being in the Bay Area where no one talks about the Jets. Omar, that means a lot, man. Thank you. Love the Bay Area. Had a great experience back in February, Super Bowl week out in San Fran.
Good job.
All right. That does it for me. We will have extended OTA coverage tomorrow. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Congrats to Major Poonage on winning a Bailey Sadiq or Cooper jersey. You guys are the best. Shout out to Antwan Staley for hopping on the show at the beginning. He'll be joining us at Gangrene Beach Club if you want to say hello to Antwan in person. Join my Patreon if you haven't. Get in the Discord. That's where the madness is when we're not on the air. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. When you sign up, you could join the discount or the Discord. Hey, at the buzzer, Nick Shine says, shout out to my daughter, Sophia. about to become a county softball champion, up 6-1 in the 5th. Hashtag ring season. I am not rooting for this to happen, Nick Shine, but if your daughter's team blows it, we have you to blame. But assuming your daughter's team doesn't choke a 6-1 lead, congrats to them on winning a county softball championship. On that note, we say farewell. We say goodbye. But I won't leave you empty-handed. Sit back and enjoy a moment in time that I think for as long as we're on planet Earth, people will reference. That's how strongly I feel about this. Sit back and enjoy it. And as always, let's go Jets.
Schedule. Wait, bring it up.
All right, week 1, Tennessee.
Yeehaw! Tennessee's known for London Bridget moving up. See how that's cooked?
Week 2 against the Packers, win or loss.
Hey, they can bring some cheese.
I will say that's a win. Week 3 against the Lions.
It'll be just like eating egg.
The Jets are looking good. We'll see. More eggs? Yeah, pass them over.
Okay, that's a win as well then. Week 4 against the Bears.
We're going to put some sausages on that grill. We're going to cook their ass and brand them.
That's a win. Week 5 against the Browns.
Here's the Browns right here.
We've established as a win. Week 6 against the Patriots.
1, 2.
All right, that's a win as well. Week 7, home against the Dolphins.
Fishing.
Okay, so that's 6-0. Week 8 against the Raiders now. All right, I'm going to assume that's a win. At the Kansas City Chiefs, week 9.
50-50 shot.
All right, we'll go win. Now home against the Buffalo Bills.
Take it to them. Chargers, we'll see what happens.
All right, Chargers. So they're 10-0 going into the Chargers game. Are you okay? You going to die?
Woo. Go round. Next round.
At the Dolphins, week 12.
They're coming to our house. Ain't that lovely? I like fish sticks.
All right, so 12-0. Jets now take on BYE. Your thoughts?
70-30.
All right, week 14, Jets enter.
The last time we played them, what did Dum do? Let's just go for that.
Smells like 14-0 to me.
Cardinals? Oh, there's going to be a problem. Because Jeremiah Love is a killer. Boom.
All right, so they beat the Cardinals. So the Jets now are 14-0 going into week 16 against the
Patriots. Mike Vrabel, he got a girl pregnant, and I did that.
All right, so that's a win.
Vikings. Yes.
Is this the Jets' first loss in week 17 in the season? This is where the Jets lose. It's actually a positive. You don't want to have the pressure of having the first ever perfect season. They're now 15-1 going into the Buffalo Bills matchup.
Ah! Woo!
So 16-1. Sign me up for the 16-1 New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, your coach of the year in the NFL is... I'm in.
Oh, yeah. That feels better. Oh, baby. All right, as they all say, Superman to the rescue.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.